Hello and welcome to a new video on tidyR package. This video shall be part of tidyR package video series. In this video, we will cover the unite function from tidyR package. Now, unite function is used to convert multiple columns into single column. It is the inverse of separate function. So if you are a regular viewer to this channel, then you will recall in the last video, we used separate function to split the character column into multiple columns, and hence we can say that the separate is the inverse of unite. If you are interested in looking at the video on separate function, the link is given in the description. Fine. So let's straight away jump into the code. I'm going to load the two packages, NYC Flights 13 and tidyR, because we are going to work upon the datasets from these two packages. So library NYC Flights 13, library tidyR. Okay, so the first dataset is related to number of TB cases reported by World Health Organization in Afghanistan, Brazil, and China in the year between 1999 and 2000. In fact, this TB data has 5 different data sets in it. You can find 5 different data sets in it. Table 1, Table 2, all the way till Table 5. These data sets are created to showcase multiple ways to lay out the tabular data. So we are going to pull in Table 5. Let's view the data frame. So table 5, view. Yeah, so in this data set, you can see that we can combine the year and century column into new variable. The year and century column we want to combine and put it under the new variable. And we are going to do that with the help of unite function. So let's see how the unite function works. Now, since all the functions from the tidyR package, as you know, follow the common design philosophy. So each function takes data set as the first argument, and unite function is not an exception. So I'm going to pipe in the data frame into unite function. So table 5, pipe into unite function, unite. Now comes the second argument. The second argument here is the name of the new column that we are going to create. Now in this case, let's name the new column as new underscore column. So new underscore column is the name of the new column that we are going to create. And the third argument shall be the set of columns to combine. Now in this case, we want to combine the year and century columns. So I'm going to use the colon operator here. Since we are selecting all the adjacent columns, so I can use the colon operator. So century colon year, and finally view. Now please note here that I can select the columns in the same way as I would select in case of a select function from the dplyr package. So instead of calling the names, I could also do that by calling the column numbers to select the columns. Yeah, perfect. So let's execute this function now. And as you can see that the two column values are combined together into a new string, and this string is placed under a new column variable. Now there are other important observations here that I want to bring to your notice. The first observation is, as you can see, by default, underscore is used as a separator to join the strings. So that's the first observation. The second observation is the columns from the original data frame that we have combined are removed from the output data frame. So in the output, you won't find the year and century columns, which are part of the original data frame, right? And the third observation to note here is that the data type of a new column that we have created by default is character type. Now these are the three default outputs that we have got. Now we are going to use additional arguments from the unite functions which we can use to change these default output types. So let's check them one by one. Let's see the sep argument. Now you can use the separator as per your choice by setting up sep parameter into the function argument. So let me show you how to do that. So here I'm not going to use any separator because I want to display the value as a complete year. So I'm going to use the double inverted quotes as a separator. Well, which simply means that don't use any separator symbol between the two values, between the two strings that you want to combine. So let me copy the code, and here you go. The additional argument that I'm using here is sep equal to simply double inverted quotes and view. Now let's execute this function. Now you can see that the two values are combined together. And since we have used the double inverted quotes, there is no separator symbol appearing between the two values. Okay, now let's see how we can able to retain the columns from the original data frame in the output. So I can do that with the help of a remove argument. Now by default, remove argument is set to true, and that's why the columns from the original data frames are not shown in the output. But if I set it to false, then the columns from the original data frame are retained in the output. So let me copy the code, and I'm going to use the additional argument remove equal to false. So let's check it out. Now you can see the century and the year columns. These are the two columns from the original data frame are retained in the new data frame. Right, it's time to work on the second data set now. The second data set that we will work on is flights data from the NYC Flights 13 package. This data is about all the flights going in and out from 3 New York City airports. So let me display the 10 random rows from the data. Flights. Pipe in to sample in 10 and claims. So you can see that this is how the data set looks like. Now here what I'm going to do, I want to combine the first three columns, year, month and day, so that into a new single column, so that I can represent the date as a single value rather than the three separate values spread across three separate columns, as you can see in this data frame. Fine. Okay, so let me pipe in the data into unite function. Then I'm going to name the new column as new underscore date. Now here I'm going to select the columns that I want to combine using the column positions. So 1, 2, 3, 1 column 3. And finally I want to separate out the values using dash because we are going to display the date. So it's better to use the dash as a separator. And finally I want to retain the original column. So sep equal to dash, comma, remove equal to false. And finally the claims function. So here we go. So here is the output. You can quickly note that the new column that's been created, new underscore date, has the dates now as the value. The dash separator is being used to combine the values together. The three columns, year, month, day, from the original data frame are retained in the output. Right? Now, but remember here that the column that we have created, the new underscore date column, by default has the character data type. Now in this example, since we are dealing with the time data, we would want to change the data type as date. So let's change the data type using the muted function. Now let me copy the code, and here I'm going to insert the muted function. So muted bracket, the name of the new column, new underscore date, equal to, I'm going to use as.date method to change the data type from character to date. So as.date, I'm going to use the new column name here. Fine, and glimpse. So let's see. So here we go. You can see that the data type of the new column is changed from character to date. Right, so let's quickly summarize what we have covered so far. Unite function is used to combine multiple columns. The values from the multiple columns are combined together into a string. These values by default are separated by underscore. So if you want to use another separator symbol, you can use sep argument in the unite function. Use remove equal to false flag to retain the columns from the original data frame. The new column that has been created by unite function has character data type. If you want to change to some other data type, then you can use the muted function to do so. Good. So we have come to the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching this video till the end. If you like this video, you may also like to subscribe to this channel. Please click on the like button. Leave your comments or suggestions in the comment section. I would be glad to read those. Thanks for watching. Take care and goodbye.